कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताश्रातां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम् वाल्मीके मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति परां गतिम् यः पिबन् सततं रामचरितामृतसागरम् अतृप्तस्तं मुनिं वन्दे प्राचेतसमकल्मषम् गोष्पदीकृतवाराशिं मशकीकृतराक्षसम् रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्दे लीलात्मजम् अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकी शोकनाशनम् कपीशम् अक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम् मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूतमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारी परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमद राक्षसान्तकम् वाल्मीकिगिरिसम्भूता रामसागरगामिनी पुनादिभुवनं पुण्या रामायणमहानदी वेदवेद्ये परे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदप्राचेतसादासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मना आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायापतये नमः मङ्गलं कोसलेन्द्राय महनीयगुणाब्धये चक्रवर्ती तनूजाय सार्वभौमाय मङ्गलम्. Yesterday we saw in the Sarga number 4 that this Sarga is all about Vishaya Vailakshanyam, the greatness of the subject matter. And Valmiki Rishi could see, feel, visualize and understand everything that has happened. And with the grace and the blessings of Bhagavan Brahma as his guru, he was able to do that. And here we have come up to the 14th verse where Sri Rama had already sent his citizens, Ayodhya Vasina, back to Ayodhya because he wanted to go all by himself as per the promise. Now, the promise was that he will stay away from the country for 14 years. See this next 3 verses. Gangayaschapi santaram Bharadvajasya darshanam Bharadvajapyanujnanat Chitrakutasya darshanam Vastu karma nivesham cha Bharatagamanam tata Asadanam cha ramasya Pituscha salilakriyam Padukagrayabhishekam cha Gantigrama nivasanam. Gam gacchati iti Ganga. The definition of Ganga is Gam gacchati. Gam means to go. And that which continuously flows is called Ganga. Ganga name came because there's a constant flow. It's like gingeredi ginger. That which makes you digest. Gingeredi ginger. That is my own version, don't worry about it. So, Jirnam gacchati. Jirnam is to digest. So here, Ganga is considered to be the lifeline of Bharatavarsha. But what we see is in the olden tradition, crossing a ocean is considered to be forsaking a culture. Even today there are people who very strictly follow that. That is, you cannot, this Bharatavarsha is covered in three sides only by ocean. So, unlike you go to Africa or any other place, or even this country, you cross to Mexico, you're not crossing a ocean. Are you? No. You're not crossing. Are you? No. You can go by land. Canada, you can go by land. But India is, neighbors are only Afghanistan, Pakistan, but they were all part of Bharatavarsha at that time, Tibet and Nepal, everything. Then you have Himalayas on the top. And once you cross that, then you go to China and Russia. But you cannot cross that. You see? So most of the places are covered by water. So they consider crossing a water, crossing ocean means you have crossed the culture. That's why they call Paradesha, Videsha. Videshi means another Videsha. And a person who has crossed that, unfortunately, it is considered to be one who has first of all committed a sin. I'm talking about, this is written so many thousands of years back. He is not eligible for any of the rituals and rites connected to Pitrus. Because you cross the culture. You have started eating food which is of a different culture. You have started living in a different culture. So here, when Rama is crossing a river, is very specifically mentioned here, because now he is proving that I am no more belong to this Ayodhya, because that's what Kaikeyi wanted. Why did she say that you should go to the forest, meaning cross the Ganges? You are not eligible for that anymore. So, this is how it is. So, Gangayas chapi Santaranam to cross. So, he crossed the Ganges and he met with Bharadwaja Rishi. Bharadwajasya darshanam. You will see the word darshanam comes here because Valmiki Rishi is also seeing him. As I said, along with these three people, he is also behind this and he is seeing Bharadwajasya darshanam. For Valmiki Rishi pretty much lived in the forest. He did not have access to any of these people before. These are all new to him. But conversations and all various experiences Rama is going through, Valmiki Rishi is going through that. So he is so delightfully enjoying. That's why when he is writing it with great joy, with great wonder. Because all those things are so invigorating, very energizing for him as well. Bharadwajasya darshanam, Bharadwaja abhyanujnana. With the permission of Bharadwaja Rishi, Chitrakutasya darshanam. Then he sees Chitrakuta. Chitrakuta is the place where Bhagavan Sri Rama lived until Bharata came there. And Chitrakuta, Kuta means mountains. We have, I think, explained last time. Chitrakuta means, Chitra means Vichitram, Asharyakaram. That is so beautiful. The background of the Parnakutir which they created was such a beautiful, it's like as closer to us, as beautiful as Himalayas. So here it is said, thus they created, Lakshmana is an expert in Vastu Shastra. So it is Vastu Karma Niveshamcha. He created a hut made of bamboos Parnakutira or leaves of bamboo leaves, and Niveshamcha, entry into that. Chitrakode Griha Nirmanam, Gastha Karma, Niveshamcha Tada Bharatagamanam. So then eventually Bharata also came there to request Rama to come back, and also brought the news that father is no more. So that made Sri Rama feel very, very bad and what had happened. But he could not help it, so prasadanam cha Ramasya. Appeasing Rama, so saying that he could not be there at the last moment when father was leaving, and he could not perform even though he is the first son, he could not perform the rites for him. Therefore, he did whatever he could as symbolically, that is Salila Kriyam, Pitru Karma. He performed a Pitru Karma there in the name of his father. Salilam means one of the names for water. Salilam, Jalam, Neera, all those things. There are some, I think there are 20 or 30 synonyms for water in Sanskrit language, because a poetic language will have every possible way of describing. Water could be, there are so Udakam, Ab, Neera, and Jalam, Salilam, Apaka, so many of them. You are hearing some in a book or something. She is referring to all this. So, and even in Indian languages, every part of the country there is different to different things. Vallam, they say. Tanni, Vallam, Tanni, Jalam, Turtam, and Tirtam. So many, water, of course. So, the Salila Kriya. And when you are doing to the Pitrus, you use water because water goes down. And when you are doing for the Devatas, you do it with fire because fire goes up. That's it. Symbolically, it means for the Devatas who are above us, you must offer everything into the fire. Those who are below us means they are not elevated to the height of. In the Pitraloka, you offer everything, for everything you should offer the water. And when you do for one's own father, then your great-grandfather gets released from that point. That is why we do that. They are in a limited space for Pitraloka. Anybody enters, somebody has to get out. Otherwise it will not be possible. It's like a Bombay apartment. If two people enter, 3 people have to get out. Otherwise 2 people cannot get inside. So that Pitraloka is not an expandable area. There is a limited area. So when you do for your Pitras, at some point of time, your great-grandfather will exit out and then he will go to the next stage of his soul development. So here, Salila Kriyam, then Paduka Gra Abhishekam. Agra means that which is forefront. Agre Dashtadi, meaning you stay in the front. Agra means the front. Also it means foremost. Agrahara, you might have heard this in South India. That means the temple is there, and any colony that is around the temple, to the closest vicinity of the temple, is called Agrahara. There the priests will live because they have access to the temple or the Brahmin caste. Then comes the others. So Agrahara. Ahara means a place. Bala Vihar, Buddha Vihar, Puta Vihar, Bhojana Vihar, place where food is served. So like that, Vihar. So here, Agrahara means a place of prominence. So Paduka Agra means the most prominent Padukas in the world is Sri Rama Paduka. And that is given to Bharata and then Abhishekam. So that means Paduka Agra Abhishekam. So Bharata was given that as a symbolic representative of Rama, and he took it on his head and moved to Nandigram. Because he wanted to live like that of how Sri Rama and Lakshmana and Sita are living. He didn't want to have a palatial comfort and conveniences while his beloved brother and his lord of his heart is living in such simple life, and how can he ever think of even having any luxury? Therefore, he started wearing the bark of the tree and eating only roots and nuts and fruits and living with a simple life. And it so happened, even these Ayodhya Vasins also started living like that only with him. They said, Bharate tatra gate sarva prajaha tatreva vasam krutvatya ityartha. So they also started living in that very condition or in the place where he was living. And that's why there's a fundamental change in the whole atmosphere of Ayodhya because of the departure of Sri Ram there. Thus, the situation at this point is, everything is settled as though, but then Rama felt that I need to move from here because there are too many visitors are coming here. Let me get going. Dandakaranyaгаmanam viradasya vadam tata darshanam sharabhangasya sutikšnena samagamam anasuya samasyam cha angaragasya charpanam darshanam chapyagasya danusho grahanam tata shurpanakyasya samvadam virupakaranam tata vadam karatrishiraso uttanam ravanasya cha marichasya vadam chaiva vaidekyaharanam tata ragavasya vilapam cha Gridrarajani parhanam kabanda darshanam chaiva pampayaschapi darshanam shabari darshanam chaiva phalamoolashanam tada. So here he moved on to Dandakaranya forest there, and he met with the demon Virada. Dandakaranya, as I have explained, is a place which was cursed by a Muni, and therefore, even though it was originally a kingdom, but it was curse of a Muni, it has become a deserted place. Now one should understand, Munis, they live in great tapas, and they do not have worldly concerns, really speaking. They live in isolation. And they generally do not get upset. But when they get upset, every setup is changed. That is called, upset. Setup change, it's called upset. Set up, and then his up becomes first, and then set goes behind. So then, anything that is good also will go bad. You have to be very careful. So therefore here, don't anger a wise man. You would not usually get upset. But if you get upset, all you will be in trouble. Everybody will be in trouble. So here, that's what happened. And Virada and all other such, terrible, evil people started living there. And that's why, one by one, he was taking care of them. Darshanam Sharabhangasya. And there are, at the same time, where these evil people are there itself was the great Munis also living. So Sharabhanga, Agastya, and so many others. Sharabhangasya darshanam Sutikshna. Tikshna means very sharp. Sutikshna means extremely intelligent and sharp. We'll come to know when we come to that point, how he was so one-pointedly seeking Ram. Sudikshna Samagatam. Samagamam, I'm meeting with him. Anasuya. Anasuya, Atri Maharshi's wife. Atri means one who has gone beyond the three gunas. Three gunas are there, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, and all of us are product and victims of these three gunas. Traigunya Vishya Vedaha Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. Arjuna is told by Krishna, these Vedas and rituals are only for those who are caught up in these three gunas only. You have to go beyond this. Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. This is though Nitya Sattvastu, Nityo means Yoga Kshema Atmavan, Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. So this Traigunya is three gunas are everywhere. And so one who has gone beyond that is Atri. And Atri, Anasuya, for them is born the Bhagavan in his own avatar is known as Datta Atreya. Atri Maharishi's son is Atreya. And Datta, the Lord, Shiva, Vishnu, Maheshwara, all the three of them appeared as his own. And therefore Dattatreya has the three faces, you know. So Anasuya is such a very well-known and very chaste wife of Atri Maharishi. And the very word Asuya means that is negative, cavilling, jealousy, looking what is wrong in others. Anasuya means one who is beyond. Asuya Nasti is where one who does not have this quality of Asuya. It's called Anasuya. And she gave a lot of advice to Sita ji. How to be a true wife and how to maintain such great amount of patience, tolerance. Being a wife is not just a joke. You all know it. So there are so many things that may go wrong and one should maintain that integrity. And that was a great advice she received and then she maintained that in the Ravana's place. Otherwise anybody would have given up on this. So that's why he specially mentioned here Anasuya Samasyamcha. Meeting with Anasuya helped Sita in many ways. So, Angaragasya cha arpanam. So when Bhagavan Sri Rama was moving around in the forest, meeting with all the rishis knew that he is a Bhagavat avatar. Or a man of great prominence. After all, a king's son. So when you meet a prominent person in the Indian tradition, they give you chandan to, smear on the body. If you go to temple, you go to marriages also. They take that something they sprinkle nowadays. Sprinkle, right? And then they give you chandan, and then you have to put that on your body. Nowadays only coke will be given to you. They don't know what to do with the coke. You cannot put on your body. But that's it. Any prominent person comes, you give chandan. And even for Bhagavan we offer chandan. It is to cool down body and also it gives a fragrance. So it's like a kind of a scent, natural scent fragrance that you offer. So we hear Bhagavan being a very prominent individual, not only a king but Bhagavat avatar. So he was always treated with Angaraga. Raga means color, but here means with all the fragrances. So he has been treated very well by all the rishis in the forest. Darshanam cha api Agastasya. There also he met Agastya Rishi, who is very well known for his tapasarya, great eminence in scholarliness in Shastras, the mantra power, and therefore he gave him a chapa, a dhanush, a will is in Tamil, a bow, and not that dhanush, which I am talking about, another one. Vishnu dhanush he gave it him, saying that you have to use this when time comes. Gave it to him. Dhanusho grihanam tada. So that was given to him. Shurpanakya cha samvadam. And you know, that long-nailed one, sharp-nailed one. She came there, disturbed Ram and Lakshmana. And Lakshmana happened to be still working on this Vasudev thing. And then even had a knife also. So at that time she disturbed him. Then she got a nose cut. Huh? Nasikacheta. That is why the place is called Nasik. You know that. Nasik is the place where nose was cut. Nose cut. There's some people who, got, you went to him and he gave you nose cut. Meaning you have been dishonored. Right? They say nose cut. So that came from this only. Cut the nose. Meaning, when your nose is cut, you cannot go anywhere. So she was Virupakaranam Tata. She was disfigured. She got very upset. She went and told her brothers. They came. Kara, Dushana, Trishara, all those people one by one, they were eliminated by the Lord. Vadam, Kara, Trishirasoho, Utthanam, Ravanasya cha. Ravana gets extremely instigated and angry and upset. He gets up to, with revenge, he started thinking about what to do now. He called down to Maricha, his uncle, who had a very bad experience with Rama. When he was in the forest, when Vishwamitra was conducting the rituals, at that time, he also disturbed Vishwamitra, and then Rama went and attacked him, and then he ran away. So he knew how powerful Rama was. So therefore he said to Rama, please don't ask me to do this, I will be definitely killed. I will be really destroyed. Don't you also do it. But Ravana said, no, either you get killed by me or by him. You decide. So he thought, it's better to get killed by Rama than this fellow. Therefore, let me go. So thus he went according to the plan. Marichasya vadam. He was also destroyed by Rama. But unfortunately, Sita ji was taken away by the time. Vaidehya haranam tata. And Ragavasya vilapam cha. Thereafter, vilap, lamentation of Rama having lost Sita here. Grudra Rajani Bharhanam, that is who? Jatayu. Grudra Raj, Grudra means vulture. Raja, the king of vulture, that is Jatayu, he was also killed by Ravana. Therefore, last rites were performed by Rama himself. Kabanda Darshanam Chaiva. Kabanda is one who had face on the stomach. Meaning what? He had no head at all. Head is here. Meaning some people are like, only in Madhya Pradesh they bothered about it. So it's called Kabanda. So I remember the joke, one person went to a doctor and said, in our family, I think obesity runs in our family. So he said, obesity doesn't run. You people don't run. That is why obesity is there. The whole family doesn't run. Therefore, obesity is there. Not obesity runs in your family. So, Kabanda. But he was only a cursed Devata. So, when he was released, he said, now I know why you are here, and you please go to Pampatira, where you will meet Shabari and she will guide you from here. It's like a treasure hunt, You go from place to place. So he didn't give the full detail. You go to she will tell you what to do. So he was searching for Pampatira and then moved around. Pampaya Chapi Darshanam. So he went to Pampatira. It is almost coming to Kerala side there. Now, Kishkinda, all monkeys live there. So, there's nothing to do with Kerala. Okay, so it's the same. So he went down there to the Pampa Thira. There, Shabari Darshanam Chaiva, Phalamula Shanam Tata, met with Shabari, a tribal woman, greatly dedicated to Rama and to her Guru. And he met in the middle of nowhere, he met a great devotee. What an exciting thing for him. Was looking for him and then meditating upon him for years. It is such a fulfilling experience for him, and whatever she gave, he ate that, and thus he has come up to that point. Now, verse number 22 onwards. Pralapam Chaiva Pampayam Hanumad Darshanam Tata Vishyamukasya Gamanam Sugrivena Samagamam pratyayotpadanam sakyam vali sugriva vigraham vali pramadanam chaiva sugriva pratipadanam taravilapam samayam Vasharatra nivasanam kopam raghava simhasya balanam upasangraham dishaprastapanam chaiva prithvivyascha nivedanam anguliyakadanam cha vrukshasya biladarshanam prayopaveshanam chaiva sampadeschapi darshanam. Pralapam, lamentation. See, Bhagavan, when he has taken the form of a human, he behaves exactly like that of a human. And symbolically or philosophically, when you look at it, Sita represents the Shanti, the peace. Peace, which is the nature of the soul. But the soul here, Rama, they are all to Rama. Here, the soul which is in Shanti. But when the 10 different sense organs of ours acting and distracting us, then obviously we lose Shanti. So that is what Dashamukha Ravana. So when the soul without peace is restless. Sri Rama Shankaracharya also writes in his Atmabodha that unless that finally the soul attains the Shanti, which is called moksha, till then there is restlessness. The ocean of samsara is the ocean, Indian Ocean, that has to be crossed. And the one who can thus help you, first of all, recognize that your nature is Shanti and you have lost it, is Guru. And Hanuman represents that Guru's avatar. Hanuman is the one who is now bringing the message to you that soul is, nature is Shanti, presently it is disturbed, restlessness. So Anumad Darshanam is considered as a very important part of the story, because as I said yesterday, twists, the various twists that take place. The first twist was, when Vishwamitra entered the palace, is the first twist took place. Until then, smooth it was. When Vishwamitra entered, I want to take him to the forest. This was a get disturbed. And afterwards, Kaikeyi coming into the picture and making another turn there. There's another twist there. Then entry of Shurpanaga is another twist there. Then Ravana coming and Maricha coming and taking, there is another twist there. And a major twist that takes place here is Hanuman. Until then it is in the negative side. Now into the positive side moves. Till that point it was deviating from the main goal of why he was there. He was making the situation happen. Now the solutions begin. Until that point, it was a preparation for a plot, if you want to call that way. Preparation for a plot. And Ravana has to be, because Ramayana is known, other two names of Ramayana was, where Sitaya's Charitam Mahat. It is a Sita Charitra. It shows the great glory of Sita, who kept up to her chastity and patience. Paulastya Vadam is another name for Ramayana. Paulastya Vadam means Paulastya Putra, that is Ravana. Tasya Vadam is destruction of Ravana, that is Paulastya Vadam. So, the Paulisya Vada being main important reason when the avatar took place. And therefore, until that point the plot was created. And then when Hanuman enters, now the solution is beginning. So that is why Hanumat, that is the Hanumat Darshanam. It is said Shiva himself, Rudra Bhagavan himself has taken the form of Hanuman to help out. Because he said that I want to remain closer to Brahma. For Shiva always remembers the Bhagavan Rama in his mind. So therefore, here coming to the Ramayana, it is Rudra Avatar himself is Hanuman. Hanuman is that. So, Hanumat Darshanam, it is Guru Darshanam. It's very interesting when you look at symbolically what happens there. Sugriva was running all the time away from Vali. Where did he take resort? Rishya Mukha, facing the Rishi. Only then he will be away from Vali. Until then, Vali will be behind him. And his only support and confidant was Hanuman. So then Hanumanji takes him to Sugriva because he knows the purpose is same for both of them. He wants his country, he wants his wife. So let us make an agreement here. That's why he takes him Rishyamo Kasya Gamanam Sugrivena Samagamam. A guru is one who makes you go for satsangas. So once that guru element has started in your own personality, you will look for satsang. Because that soul has now learned the greater joy of learning its own being, knowing about itself than anything else in this world. Until that is why mumukshuta, mokshasya ichcha. So the guru's role is to create shraddha, bhakti and mumukshutva. Faith in the scriptures, devotion to God and seeking for freedom. So that is why in Hanuman when he takes him to Sugriva, so Sugriva also wanted to get released from all the fear that he was living all the time. He wanted the solution for it. And obviously Sri Rama wanted to find where Sita has gone. So therefore there is Samagamam, meeting point. And the meeting is very important there. But Sugriva had no clue about who Rama was. So therefore Pratyaya Utpadanam. Pratyaya means trust. To create the trust in the heart of Sugriva, he showed how powerful he is. That is, he used one arrow and cut down 7 trees. And beyond that, it went up to Pahatala. So then Sugriva was very convinced, oh, this person will definitely destroy my enemy. So Vali Sugriva Vigraham. So there is a war that was started. Started means Rama asked him to invite him for a battle. So both of them came to the battlefield and ultimately Vali Pramadanam Chaiva. Destruction of Vali. Sugriva Pradipadanam. Sugriva was given his kingdom back. So, Tara Vilapam Samayam Varsharatra Nivasanam. The Tara Vilapam is again, here Tara, that is wife of Vali, started crying. Interestingly, what we find is, in the whole story, from the beginning, you will find that loss of the male and suffering of the female. Krauncha bird onwards. The Krauncha bird which Valmiki Rishi saw what has happened, that male Krauncha bird was killed and then female one was crying for it and that he gave out a curse. Dasharatha had passed away. Kaikeyi and others were crying. Later on here we find that Vali passes away. Tara is crying there. Sugriva lost his wife and that is why the problem came. That's why he wanted Vali to be taken out. Later on we'll say Ravana goes away and Mandodari will cry there. So you see major 2 situations is where the male who has suffered a loss, male has departed and the female suffering loss. So that Krauncha bird situation repeats more or less 2-3 times there. Later on, finally, Sita was also taken away and then Rama is crying at the end. And finally he has to give her up also. So we'll see that the situation where one of the partners moving away and how much suffering the other one goes through. So that is repeating situations in this story. So Tara Vilapam, she was crying, and then obviously Rama had to appease her, saying that inevitable, because anybody who did the wrong thing has to be punished, and that is my role in this world. I need to do that. Samayam. Here Samayam word does not mean only time. Samayam also means time. According to the Ratnamala, which is like Amarakosha. Amarakosha is where you find words that a word having many different meanings. As yesterday also I said, Artha means, one meaning is meaning, another meaning is wealth, another meaning is moksha. Contextually it is to be used. Here also Samayam, literal meaning is Kala. Kala siddhanta pratiknya shapadeshu cha sanketacharayoscha. These are all the things the scholars remember these kind of verses, phrases in their mind. Samayam, when they say immediately, Kala siddhanta pratiknya shapadeshu cha sanketacharayoscha, that will come to their mind. So then they will use this word accordingly. Human computers, they will remember there are people even today who knows Amarakosha by heart. Amarakosha is word, I told you, there are thousands of words having different meanings, and they all know every word, what are the meanings that are there. When you talk to them, you will wonder, where is the storage? See, in fact, we are only using 2%, 5% of our brain. It can take so much of information and store it. And we hardly use it. We nowadays use, why in Google you put Samaya, what? Even to that, Google, there's thousands of people working on it to put it inside, right? So, there Samaya. So, one meaning is Kala, time. Another is Siddhanta, principle. Principle is what a thing is. A thing, what it is, its nature is Siddhanta. So when you clearly, evidently know a thing about a thing, it is called Siddhanta. Even it is vague, it is not understandable, it is called Vedanta. So, Siddhanta means very clear. Siddha means accomplished, very well known. Iska kya Siddhanta hai? Meaning, what is the principle of this? You don't say, what is the Vedanta of it? Oh, Vedanta, if you ask, is metaphysical. It goes all over the place. So, Siddhanta. Pratiknya. Pratiknya means promise. Shabata means a swearing. Sanketa means gesture. Sanketa, gesture. And achara means conduct. So, these are all the meaning of the word Samaya. Samay pe aa jao, meaning, in time you come. Uska samay aa gaya. What happened? Uska Kal. Time has come for him. We also use the word, English word time also for that. Hey, come in time, okay? Otherwise, your time has come. Meaning, you are going to go. Your destruction. Band bajayega. That's what they say, right? Band bajayega. Your time has come to go. So, here in the meaning of pratiknya. So, between Sugriva and Sri Rama, there was a Samaya. Samaya means a pratiknya, a promise, a commitment. That place, so Samayam and Varsharata Nivasa. Sri Rama, because this happened meeting with Sugriva towards just before the Varsha Ritu, meaning rainy season. And obviously not much activity can take place in the rainy season. And that's in the traditional India, they don't do any of the auspicious thing during the rain, only just do some Shravan. And only after that, activity will take place. And then sheets of rain everywhere, so you cannot go anywhere. No agriculture, no festival, no outdoor activities, nothing you can do. So then Vali said, Sugriva said, after the rain season over, I will take care of your problem. And he went and he enjoyed his palace, because after a long time he got back to his palace. He was enjoying all the luxuries and pleasures there, and this Sri Rama sitting in his own place, and he was sitting there. Poor thing, all by himself. That's a Varsha Ratri. Sitting there, Nivasana, saying alone and feeling so lonely. And lamenting, obviously. And that time, when the rainy season got over, and still Sugriva did not do anything. Forgot conveniently. One day, Ram got up and extremely upset and angry. Kopam, that's why he said, next verse he said, what is that? Kopam Raghava Simhasya. He got very angry. And he just had to say one word to Lakshmana. And he is waiting for that. So he looked at Rama. Why are you upset? It's already rain is over, and then this will. You want me to do something about it? Yes. He got up them there. His whole body was shaking with anger, and then straight he walked into the palace of Sugriva. Hanumanji noticed from a distance, Lakshmana is coming with a serious problem there. He ran to Sugriva and said, please have an excuse immediately. Otherwise he will burn you to death. So obviously Sugriva, as soon as he came, he went running and prostrated to him. Lakshmana, how nice to see you. Nice to see me. What happened to your bow? Then he said, no, I have already sent people around and all of them are coming. Balanam, Upasangraham Balanam, that is Senanam, of all the Senas, that is all the monkey clans, monkey groups have been informed. They are all coming together and we will decide how to go about searching for Sita. Dishaprastapanam. Then he had distributed and sent out the monkeys in different directions. Prativyasya Nivedanam. And in this particular section we will find in Valmiki Ramayana the description of the Bharatavarsha, the geographical area that is covered by Bharatavarsha. Only such literature will show us the past. What culture, what amount of what kind of agriculture they had, what kind of food that they ate, what kind of dress that they were wearing, what festivals they celebrated, how they lived, and what an area was covered by the kingdom, what kind of rivers were there, oceans, and all this geographical description, and all the various seasons. As I said, all the various things about the culture are described in this particular portion. And the literature should also indicate when exactly this took place. So they don't go by the calendar and that. They go by the planetary positions. Because that nobody can change. And it's not in human control. So this is how we know when exactly this story took place. Because they determine where the particular planet is positioned. So when you go back and calculate, you know exactly when this Ramayana took place. And there is also the horoscope of Rama in that. And how his movements, the planetary movements have affected him, etc. So Jyotisham also is found in that. So here Prativyasya Nivedanam, it's a description about Prithivi, and that is why it is here. Prithivyaha Dvipa Samudradi Sannivesha Kathanam. Description about the earth and water around this continent. So then, obviously, Hanuman was given a special, privilege, because pretty much they knew he's gone south. Sita was taken to the southern side. Therefore, Hanumanji was sent as the messenger. Anguliyaka Dhanam Cha. Bhagavan Sri Rama gave him Anguliyaka, that is his ring, and sent him out. And then when Hanumanji and the party reached the tip of the country, this is the southernmost tip, that is the last land that they can go. We call Dhanushkoti, that area. Now, not found. Now what can we do? So they are looking around, they suddenly found a very attractive guha, a cave. They went inside, they saw mermaids, and that is called Swaprabha. And Swaprabha is the angel there. Swayamprabha. So that they saw that and sought some advice there. But then solution was not found. Sita was not found. So all the monkeys decided to end their life because they cannot go back. Sugriva said, either you find Sita or don't come back. So they decided to lie down to fast until death. It's called Prayopavesha. Prayopavesha means fast unto death. So they are lying down on the sands of the ocean shore, lying down there, and they decided to leave their body. And one by one, there's an interesting point, and it's a very humorous point there. So everybody started saying, I think it's all because of unnecessarily the Dasharatha giving a word to Kaikeyi. He should have kept quiet. But see, now we are in trouble. Why should you? It started from the beginning there. So one by one they keep on cursing. Finally, when they came to Jatayu's portion, because they know the whole story. Jatayu, poor fellow, what did he do? See, Ravana has killed him. When the word Jatayu came, there was a vulture was moving around thinking that, oh, I can have at least some 25 days breakfast here. Whatever is lying. So he's looking for it. And then he heard Jatayu. That's my brother. What happened to him? So when they came closer, these monkeys started running. Wait, I am not here to kill you, but I want to know about Jatayu. What have you got to do with Jatayu? Oh, that's my brother. Oh, poor thing. He was killed. By whom? We don't know. Some Rakshasa came from the south and he must be Ravana. Do you know about it? Of course, I can even see his land there. Their sides were very sharp. Eagle sides. Vultures. So then I said, can you see? Yes. Oh, that means it is reachable. Tell me how far it is. Then the whole thing happened, and Hanumanji and Jambavan, they came to know that it is in this direction. And so Jambavan knew that Hanuman has the power to fly over the water. Then he was reminded, because he always forgets. He conveniently forgets about important things. So he said, you can. So you can go. And Prayopavesha says, Sambhadesyapi darshanam. So now Hanumanji getting ready to go and cross the ocean. And so he climbed up a particular mountain called Mahendra Mountain. From there he took off. That's a launching pad for him. What do you call that? Runway. Not runaway, but runway. Parvatarohanam chaiva sagarasyapi langanam samudravachanat chaiva mainakasya cha darshanam Rakshasi tarjanam chaiva Chayagrahasya darshanam Simhikayakcha nidanam Lankamalaya darshanam Ratro Lanka pravesham cha Ekasyapi vichintanam Apana bhumi gamanam Avarodasya darshanam Darshanam Ravanasyapi Pushpagasya cha darshanam Ashoka Vanikayana Sitayaschapi darshanam. After that we will see Parvata Arohanam, Mahendra Parvata Arohanam. Parvata, that is the hill, Arohanam, climbing up of that, and then with the help of the Devatas and the blessings, he leaped across Sagara, the mighty ocean, Indian Ocean. Sagarasyapi Langanam. Langanam is to cross over. But it's a long flight. So, the Devatas were very happy that now the process of solution has begun. So, they informed Himalaya's son, Mainaka, to appear right in the middle of the ocean. He was under the ocean, he was appearing in. And then he said, please take some rest and proceed further. It's called Mainaka Parvat. But Hanuman, what he was, he said, no, until I finish the work of Rama, I will not stop anywhere. There is a particular verse portion in Hanuman Chalisa, you know. Rama kaj karibeko adur prabhu charitra sunibeko rasya. Right? So Rama, I will not stop anywhere until I finish the work of Rama. Even though it was a nice vacation area, right in the middle of the ocean, like what do you call? You have many such, what do you call that? Not Hawaii, such other place, and you can go on inside. But he said, no, I'm not staying there. So Mainagasya Darshanam, he saw it, but he didn't stop, he moved. And this happened Samudra Vajanachaiva, because Samudra is the ocean, gave him the direction that Mainaka Parvata to come up, but he didn't. But he met with a lot of terrible things there. Rakshasi Tarjanam Chaiva Chaya Grahasya Darshanam. There are so many she-demons, they were living in that. Surasa, for example. Surasa is a Rakshasi. Opening the mouth in such a huge way, anything that goes, it will get into that. So she opened the mouth. And he said, no, I am not getting it. I have to go. No, but you are my food. It doesn't matter. I have to go. So she opened the mouth. He became a little big. She also opened the big. He became a little more big. He also went on. He went on increasing in size and she went on increasing in size. Mouth also. Then he suddenly became so small and went inside and came out. I said, I went into your mouth. You didn't close it. What can I do? So that is to show symbolically when somebody is acting too big, you become too small. Let them have the play. It doesn't matter. How does it matter to me? So that way, it becomes more small. Anyway, he killed many of these Rakshasis who were on the way. Simhika, for example. Then there is one more was there who could grab anything that is flying on the air by grabbing their shadow. Sayagrahasya. Sayagrahasya. So he will just pull that shadow, and then when you pull shadow, that fellow will fall down. So that, I think now they have to find out how it is to be done in today's world. So, but that power that particular Rakshasi had, he killed her also. Simhikayasya Nidanam. There was a Lankini who was also guarding Lanka. Lankini, she was killed. Lanka Malaya Darshanam. Now he slowly went closer to Lanka. Lanka was standing in three mountains were holding Lanka, called Trikuta. So he went to a smaller mountain and stood there, watched till the nightfall, because daytime he didn't want to enter. So waited for the night to fall because he didn't have the immigration status to enter this. He cannot enter, the guards will catch him. He decided to wait. So therefore, Ratro Lanka Pravesham Cha, entered in the night. And when he went, first of all, he did not know how even Sita would look. He had no idea. So he has to look for someone whom he has never looked. And there were so many different things in Lanka. It was a very flourishing, prosperous land. There were so many different attractive things and other things. And he alone. He was thinking all by himself. Something is there. She can be there. She can be here. She can be there. He went to Ravana's palace and looked at it. It was so much of gold and wealth and found there. If so much is there, why should he take Sita? For what purpose? Am I in the right place? So why so much of comfort and conveniences are there? Why should he come all the way from there? And he saw all other women who are there in Lanka, they were very attractive. And he is a brahmachari. There is an interesting portion there in Sundarakand. You will find, he was attracted by so many things. And he again and again said, no, that's not right. So, and then he goes to Apana Bhumi. Apana means? Apana. Panagra pan. Pan means bar. He went to the bar and looked at this place. They had a place for drinking place. Of course, Rakshasas, they were drinking. So, I don't know why it's called bar, Bar jana hai, uske liye bar. I don't know what it is. Or bar means with no bar. With no limit you go on drinking. So, Apana Bhumi Gamanam, and then Avarodasya Darshanam. He went to the Antapura of Ravana. And then there he saw so many women. And so, this many are there. How can I find which is Sita? Which is the one? Everybody seems to be happy. Now she cannot be happy. So she cannot be here. So these are all going on in his mind. And that is a beautiful description of that. What was the mind of a person who was determined to find a solution, determined to find Sita, and with this no distraction he allowed it. Then he sees Ravana also, such a powerful individual, a man of great eminence and prowess and scholarliness, and so much of authority and beauty and skills. He was a great player of Veena. So much of accomplished person. He saw him and how can he make such a mistake? A stupid mistake he is making. And he looked at him, the Ravanasya darshanam, Pushpagasya darshanam, he saw the Pushpaga Viman, a fleet of jet aircraft standing there. So many of them lined up. You have Ambani and all those people. How many of them? He says, so many jet fleet, and then there's a private runway going there. So he saw, this is so much of power here. And then he saw all of that. Finally, he reached Ashokavana. There he saw emaciated, thin, crying, calmly sitting there all by herself. This must be the one. But the face is so bright, so brilliant, so calm, waiting, patience. This must be the one. And he said, yes. Kande Sitayai. I saw Sita now. Okay. Let's see that. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhat Bhaved Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namah.